Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in to my channel. Just to let you know, normally I do use this channel to, promote my comedy or whatnot, but right now I've taken a break from comedy. So when I'm taking my break from comedy, like now, every now and then, if I have a message that I want to spread, I do use my YouTube channel to try and spread that message. So that is one of these times. So my name is Carmela, and again, thank you for tuning in with me. So this message is for rideshare drivers and customers that heavily rely on rideshare. Just to give you a little insight, there's a lot of other YouTubers that are rideshare drivers that have their channel set up and is dedicated to providing, drivers as well as the public with information. But a lot of things you're going to hear are going to be negative when you go to those channels because right now rideshare drivers are not being paid fairly at all. Lyft and Uber do not pay fairly, and either do like DoorDash, any of them. Anything as far as delivery or passengers, they are truly, truly not paying fair, guys. And customers are being overcharged. And I do mean even like big customers, like for instance, McDonald's is employing their own drivers. Other companies are starting to follow suit. So it's a lot of companies that are getting rid of rideshare companies and they're doing it for themselves. And the reason for that is because of the cost of, using the rideshare service like Uber Eats and DoorDash, things like that. All of that is, classified as gig work. They do not pay fair for the services that we provide. And just to, let you know, as a customer, you're being overcharged by these companies, majorly overcharged. So whereas when drivers used to get tips and stuff, drivers really don't get a lot of tips and stuff anymore because they barely can afford the service because the prices have gotten so ridiculous. Just like everything else in our economy that's going up. But um I've decided, even though I'm a phlebotomist full time, I do, do ride share here and there. I'm not an everyday driver. So what I'm going to do is, since protesting and all that kind of stuff really haven't worked out because it's not enough drivers that is unified on protest, they're actually divided. So it's drivers that's with it and it's drivers that's not. Whatever your choice is, I'm not getting into protest. What my message is that I need support because I plan on submitting this to the White House. Right now they got this presidential election going on and a lot of other politicians like senators and congressmen, aldermen, if you got them in your area. All these politicians, it's not just a presidential election, it's elections for other politicians as well. And there's a few states like New York, Minnesota, Boston, that has put things in place and put laws in place for these rideshare drivers, to try and get some kind of fair pay for what they're doing. But majority of the states across the United States are not supporting their rideshare drivers in the justice that they deserve. And a lot of, lawyers and stuff, unless are part of a class action lawsuit, they are not interested in helping you legally. Like for example, myself and there's other drivers out there that did not get paid for the earnings with Lyft that they made on New Year's Eve, and been contacting different law firms and things like that, and they're not willing to help unless they can you know see something worth it in it for themselves. So with that being said, we don't have federal support, we don't have state support, we don't have support legally when we're not being treated fairly by these companies. But because these companies are lining the pockets of these politicians and most likely probably contributing towards their campaigns and things like that, another situation of them looking out for the rich instead of looking out for the middle class. So me watching, Biden's speech and everything like that, and since they're talking about democracy and making fair wages for, the middle class working Americans, they're not doing that right now. Rideshare drivers are middle class working Americans who are being crapped on by this industry, and our laws are not protecting us. We need our laws to step in and make them do what's right. So I'm going to submit this information to the White House. So what I need from you guys is to comment on things that I should mention below this video. I need you guys to give me a like if you don't have anything to say, but you agree with the fact that rideshare needs to change and be more fair on the prices that they're charging their riders, and they need to be more fair on what they're paying their workers, because on a regular job, you go to work, they got everything you need, they pay you. Voila. But with this job, you have to provide the vehicle, whether it's yours or whether you're renting it. And then if you're renting it, it's a very expensive cost to rent weekly. And then if you're using your own car, you got to change your tires 2 and 3 times a year. You got to change your oil monthly, and you have to fix any repairs that you need to fix on your own. They don't help us with any of this kind of stuff. The insurance is through the roof for rideshare. So with that being said, it costs rideshare drivers to provide this service to the community. Keeping drunk drivers off the road by providing rides, taking people back and forth to their medical appointments, taking people back and forth to the airport. We provide a very, very necessary service to the communities that we serve, and we deserve to be paid a livable wage. We deserve to be paid enough where we're able to maintain our living if we choose to do this full time, as well as maintain the vehicle that we're using for this service. And right now, that is not happening. It is drivers out here struggling. I met a Uber driver that sleeps in his car because he go out there and work 12 hours, only make 100 something dollars. I may work 5 hours max when I get out there and work. I'm a phlebotomist. That's my full-time job. So I don't depend on rideshare to pay any of my bills because, for one, you shouldn't. They don't pay enough. For two, I'm not a person that's going to be doing rideshare very long. Like I say, I'm a here and there driver. And they'll tell the public in a minute, oh, this is meant to be part-time. Well, why do you got different tiers of drivers like silver, gold, platinum, and higher? And the reason that they got different tiers of drivers because that helps them understand which drivers are more invested than others. I'm invested in me. I'm not invested in them, to be honest with you. They're just a few little side bucks for me. I used to work full time and I was a platinum driver at that time. Now I don't work full time. I'm like a silver tier or something. And I'm fine with that. I don't take long rides because they don't want to pay at least $1 a mile for them. So I take the rides that they are willing to pay at least $1 a mile. If it's not paying $1 a mile, I don't even take the trip. And a lot of drivers are out there, giving rides, private rides, because it's times where, incidents may happen with the app where you're not paid or you're not paid fully, and you contact them and they give you the runarounds. So with that being said, they're able to do this because of laws that are in place that is for the rideshare giants instead of for the drivers. So we need to make sure that rideshare changes for the benefit of drivers and for the benefit of customers. And there's one rideshare company out there called Rides, WRIDZ. This is a perfect example of what rideshare should be. So basically, for the areas that they service, because they don't service every area, this is how they work. And I started the process. They charge a $30 background check, which most drivers don't want to pay. But I paid it, got my background check back in 24 hours, less than 24 hours actually. And they charge $25 for their startup kit. They have you come into their office. You are drug tested, and they meet with you and everything, get you approved, and get you on the road, to shorten it. So you start your initial process at their website, WRIDZ.com. You can look them up, see what areas they service, and if you work in them areas, you may want to go on to them, because this is how they work. They pay you 100% of every fare you earn. And their first month is free. Their second month is $50 a month, and their third month and beyond is $100 a month. But as a driver, just think, if you're going out there, driving, and you get 100% of what you earn, and this is all you have to pay per month, that is crumbs compared to what you're going to be making, especially if you're a full-time driver. So why not stop being cheap to yourself and invest in a little $30? Invest in a little, well, total of $55 to get started. You're investing in yourself, because it's way better than let Uber and Lyft play you like they play you. So with that being said, I feel like, and if you, when you go to their page, just say the evolution of rideshare. That's the way rideshare should be. So with that being said, just think. And then they're not in it for corporate greed, because they already self-employed and been self-employed for years. And they actually reach out to you, and I'm here to testify to that. When I signed up for them, the owners reached out to me. It was a husband and a wife. They reached out to me. They called me and spoke with me. So they're invested in their people. And right now, they're not even really profiting. They're just setting everything up. They have other businesses. They don't depend on investors like Uber and Lyft. They don't have plans on replacing Uber and Lyft drivers with autonomous vehicles with no driver. They want to create a rideshare company that is fair for both drivers and customers. So just think, if, say for instance, you had your own rideshare company and you're charging over 1 million people $100 a month, you're still going to make your money, and you're letting your drivers make their money. And it's fair for everyone. And then another thing I want to, tell y'all. One day my car was down. It was in the shop, and I needed a ride to work. So I ended up looking at rideshare. Rides charged $31 and some change for a 20-mile ride. Lyft charged like $49.17 for that same ride. That morning, Uber charged like $48 and some change for that same ride. And then you know how you may go to the store or go to a concert or go to work and get that same ride, same distance, right back home, and you're charged a different price? Rides don't do that. Whatever, say for instance, you take Lyft and Uber to work every day. With rides, whatever you paid to get to work, regardless of what's going on, event, busyness, busy, whatever, you're going to be charged that same fare for the same exact trip going back. And they encourage you to tip your drivers, but they don't force things down your throat and things like that. It's a decent platform to ride for. They just need more customers and more drivers. And a lot of drivers is actually not wanting to get with them because they don't want to pay $30, and they don't want to pay a total of $55. You being cheap to yourself. I was glad to pay the $55 to invest in myself. But what rides need is the clientele, and what ride need is the drivers. That's what they need. And I want to present their way of rideshare to the lawmakers and be like, this is fair. This is what we want. And I'm making this video to get the support in that. So if it's anything, I'm not doing protests or none of that. I'm taking it straight to the top dogs. Because these Democrats are talking about we're working for the American middle class people. That is their thing. So if you really working for the American middle class people, you are saying screw rideshare drivers. We are working middle class people that's getting out here on these roads with our own vehicles for hours, and you don't have any laws set up to protect us. So it makes lawyers don't want to take our cases unless they're class action lawsuits. So when we're out here having all these issues with their apps and it's screwing us out of our pay fully or partially, and then like on New Year's Eve, I'm one of the drivers that didn't get paid for that day. And then they don't want to pay us. But they lied to the media and said that the issue was resolved, and it was not resolved. It's still drivers out here that didn't get paid their wages that day by Lyft. And some of us have contact lawyers, and they don't want to take our cases. And then they don't even know where to point us. They're telling us to go to places like the Better Business Bureau, and then a lot of these YouTubers, that is also trying to help rideshare drivers, got links and stuff to these different law firms. I didn't try them, and they haven't even got back to me. They don't even want to take the case. And a few other rideshare drivers told me they went through a similar experience. So with that being said, I'm presenting our issues to the White House directly. Let them know, hey, it's election time and you want our votes, but we want to know, we want proof that you're working for the American people. So I'm going to present this to them. I'm going to take it, at a different angle. But what I need from you guys, I don't need signatures. If you want something that you feel like they need to know, because I got the information to send it. So I'm sending this email to Kamala Harris. This is who I'm sending this email to. I did my research and I got this information. So if it's anything while she on her campaign trail that you want her to, talk about, because I'm going to stress it to her. Look, you say you working for the middle class people. I need you to bring to the public attention that rideshare drivers are working middle class people, and remind these people of the service that we provide and we're not being paid fair for. And these giants that is being supported by the politicians in the White House is able to get down on us. You guys need to put politicians in place that is willing to make laws to help us instead of hinder us. If you claim that you're servicing the American people, and if I don't get a response for you, I'm going to go public and I'm going to put you out there while you're trying to get elected. Because, see, I don't vote. I do not vote. So, with that being said, by me not voting is against my religious beliefs, you know, I don't care if you Democrat or Republican. If you get in there, you need to support rideshare drivers and make some laws that work for us, and make some laws where they can't be overcharging the public the way they're overcharging the public either. This is an issue that needs to be addressed. And in this video, I want to tell them I got these many likes, I got these many comments, and we're tired. And if you feel like, hey, if y'all don't do nothing about this, why should we vote for y'all? Comment that. I'm not finna give them names. I'm finna give them numbers. And if you agree that rideshare should be set up more like rides, click like, comment. I need your input on this. And whoever see this video, I need you to share it. If you know somebody that do rideshare, if you know people that use rideshare and they feel like it's just so costly and there's being overcharged for it, I need your help in making this video go viral to reach as many rideshare drivers as possible, because I got this in motion and I'm willing to be y'all voice. I'm not asking you to protest. I'm not asking you to reveal your identity. But all I'm asking you to do is participate in spreading this video so that enough rideshare drivers can see it and put their input before I submit this issue to the White House. Now, I want to thank y'all for y'all time. I'm so sorry that this video was so long. God bless you guys. Continue to be on your hustle. Continue to be on your grind. Go out there and get your dead presidents, boo-boo. God bless you, and be blessed and have a good night.